Hello, my name is Sergeant Austin Williams, librarian and percussion arranger, one of the percussion arrangers for the Commandant's Own United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, also a 3-year veteran of the mallet line. With mallet parts, they're usually the last thing is to be written. We'll go through the whole process, we'll get the arrangements down from Major Dix, we'll do the percussion arrangements, the battery arrangements, and then I'll go in afterwards and see where the mallet parts fit, determining where I can put mallet parts in that will support the horn line, or if I need to put mallet parts in that will reinforce what the battery's playing. Specifically for the drum solo, the mallets are the only melodic voices in the entire selection, so they will carry the melody and the harmony as well as rhythmic reinforcement there. Once the mallet parts are written, we go through the revising process or the editing process, and I will go into each individual part, clean it up, shoot it up to the mallet section. We'll learn that. When we get to Yuma, that's where we do a lot of our music learning. I mentioned that they're the last parts to be written. Sometimes mallets aren't written until we actually get to Yuma. The fortunate thing is that mallets, all they have to worry about in Yuma is music. They don't march, so their 8-hour days are 8 hours full of music, music, and music. So when they get up in the morning, they'll do some PT with the rest of the drum line, and then they'll hit the keys. That also allows them a lot of time to focus on technique, building up their strength in their arms, and working on individual mallet techniques, as well as working on all the music. So.
Hi, my name is Corporal Donnelly, United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. I'm currently a mallet player in the Commandant's Own. As a mallet player, part of our responsibility is to not only double and back up the horn parts, but it also serves melodic purposes for woodwind parts. Being that the Commandant's Own is mainly brass and percussion, we don't have woodwinds. So a big part of the job of the mallet section is to play and perform the parts of the woodwinds. For example, in Stars and Stripes, we don't have woodwinds, so the mallet players will play the piccolo part. So before Yuma, as a mallet player, a lot of our job is focused on mainly the drum solo. We like to try to get the drum solo learned, memorized, and performable basically before we get to Yuma. A lot of mallet parts don't get written until after we arrive to Yuma. So for a typical percussionist or for a horn player, you can learn an entire song in a day or less than a day. Mallet parts are a little bit more extensive, they're a little bit more technical, they're a little bit more difficult, so they take at least a couple days, if not more, to learn an entire piece of music for mallet percussion. So mallet players will often use 4 mallets at a time. This is called the Musser-Stevens grip. You have 2 mallets on the inside and 2 mallets on the outside. A lot of times during a song, for instance, a song we're playing this year, Birth of a Drum Corps, there's parts that require 4 mallets at a time, as well as 2 mallets at a time. So we'd have to alternate between 4 and 2. So in the Commandant's Own, we don't use any music, everything is from memory. And mallet players, a lot of times will play with 4 mallets at a time, that's 4 notes at a time. So if you do the math, 6 songs, roughly 500 notes per song, we're playing about 3,000 notes per show, all from memory. In Yuma, most of our time is devoted to memorizing music and getting it ready to practice and perform with the rest of the ensemble.